took me a long time actually to eventually really take the decision, say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to be quiet, I'm not going to say a word anymore. And I actually did that, but almost too much. I got to an extreme where I was way too quiet, and emotions were gone. So the best shot was normal, the worst shot was normal. I said, this can't be true. I got like into this flatliner, you know. And eventually I just said, I have to get the fire back, and I worked again on my emotions on the tennis court. So it took me actually a few years. It took me almost 3 years to get my attitude right. And really when I got my attitude right, this is when really the big results came, like winning Hamburg in 2002.
Play of the German Masters Series event, Federer's game clicked into gear. The speed, the poise, the grace, the shots all came together. In the final, Atlas Marat Safin was left demolished and demoralized as Federer took his third ATP title, by far and away the most satisfying and significant.
He played incredible. I spoke to Marat after that match. He said, I had no chance, I tried everything, and you know, he just came up with answers to everything. And that's typical Roger.
While time spent away from home once meant loneliness and homesickness, Federer was now relishing the life of the professional tennis player. While the Sampras-Agassi generation came to the end of their careers, Federer was part of a new generation. The question was, could he make the transition from being ranked in the world top 10 to the next level? Could he become a Grand Slam winner?
Time.
The immediate answer was no. Centre Court, Wimbledon, 12 months after that famous victory against Sampras, but a contrasting result. Federer suffers a shock first-round exit. Of a mere sporting defeat would be put into its proper context when just a few weeks later came tragic news from South Africa. The death of Peter Carter, Roger's coach and mentor during his youth, in a car crash, cast a shadow over Roger and his family.
It was a great shock for him because it was a person that he admired, a person that he adored as a character, as a person, as a mentor.
I think Roger took it quite hard, like me as well, and it was tough. It was tough for both of us.
He didn't play the following tournament, and he came back to Basel immediately for the funeral. And I think this was one of Roger's, I would say, greatest shocks he had in his young life.
For the 2003 season, an improvement in Grand Slam results was the goal. In 16 Grand Slam appearances, Roger had reached just 2 quarterfinals. Following his first-round upset the previous year, it was only natural that an air of caution pervaded his challenge for the 2003 Wimbledon Championships.
In some ways I felt confident, in some ways I felt a lot of pressure, because I remember exactly what happened the year before and what a disappointment it was. You know, my father was disappointed, my stringer was disappointed, my coach was disappointed, my girlfriend, I was like, oh God, you know what happened? And so here I am again and trying to make it up to everything that happened, and I just came off a first round loss at the French Open as well, where people started to question me if I was going to be maybe one of those guys who could never fulfill the talent. So I felt a lot of pressure. But once the tournament got underway, I started to feel better.
This time, temperament, talent and fitness combined, and Roger made rapid progress through the draw. His quarter-final jinx was finally broken. He would play his first ever Grand Slam semi-final against Andy Roddick. With the other semi-final containing the far lower-seeded Sebastian Grosjean and Mark Philippoussis, if Roger could overcome the big serving American, he would be the overwhelming favorite for the title.
that everybody was talking about Andy because he won in Queens, you know, it's England. I actually was very confident playing against him because I've beaten him in the past.
Can't play better than that. I didn't expect the match to be so easy. I mean, he was dominating completely.
When I beat him so convincingly like I did, I was like, you know, I knew I could do it, but people were like in awe. He showed it again on center court how great he is, you know, and he's in his first Grand Slam final, and so that was a big milestone for me. That I think that Sampras win and then that Roddick semi-final win, you know, proving to tennis world again how great I really could be.
Roger Federer was now in his first ever Grand Slam final, and life was about to change forever.